speak it though, what's on your mind, is deep though, we'll speak it though, we on the air, just take it there, I'ma take it there, hold up, yeah, I talk about it, but I'm real about it, I speak on it, but don't catch feels about it, we can chop it up, like it's nothing, baby.
What's going on, everyone? We are back here live here in the OT Radio Show. And man, oh man, I'm starting off June on the right foot, y'all. I'm starting it off on the right foot, y'all. So today we have author, gospel artist, songwriter, businessman, and animal advocate with the release of his 4th album, My Story, and his book, Flawed but Unbroken. And we got more, y'all. Opening up his GeoVet Animal Clinic, because my man loves the animals. Please welcome everybody, Mr. Terrance Bell, everyone. He's here. Welcome me. What's going on, bro?
Thank you. Oh man, nothing, man. It's a normal day in Houston, Texas, near Houston, Texas hot heat. That's what it is, man. It's one of those days. How you doing?
Oh man, listen, man, I'm good, man. It's beautiful out there, right? You know what I mean? Nice weather. I'm up walking. I can hear, I can touch. You know what I mean? I can taste.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
You got your health, good health. You can walk and see and taste and hear, feel and eat good and yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Yes, it is. So let's talk a little bit, right? So tell everybody, who is Terrance Bell?
Oh man. What is that book? My book. I'm flawed, but I'm unbroken.
Okay.
That's who Terrance Bell is, man. I'm a father. I hear my son in the background up there playing upstairs, doing something, God knows what. That's my pride and joy. You know, my son. I'm a family man. I'm huge on family. I love my family, man. Life to me is all about family first. God first, then family.
Yes.
And my family is my everything, man. I love family events, getting together with immediate family and extended families, cooking and playing dominoes and cards and all type of stuff like that. I don't like no foolishness going on at my house. So, you know, come over here to have a good time and to laugh and, you know, and eat and do some great things. And that's what I'm all about. And I'm a huge football fan. So I'm now releasing my music. What is this? The summer, I guess, when the fall, late spring, early summer is getting ready. Summer is here now, actually. Yeah. And so hopefully, you know, because come fall, I'm at football games. I ain't got time for all this here. You can catch me tailgating at the games. I'm a huge San Francisco fan. I catch me in San Francisco on the weekends, catching a game, or if they travel, that's me. So in the fall, I'm all about the football.
Oh man. Well, let me throw this curveball in there for you. You know, my team apologized for knocking out y'all quarterback. You know,
come on, man. You're not gonna do that to me, huh?
Yeah. You know, we gotta.
Is that what you're gonna say? Knock out our quarterback?
Yeah, knock your quarterback out. I mean, listen, you know, we knocked the.
Let's get off the air right quick. Let's take this conversation because I got a few things to say. I don't think the general public want to hear this conversation. So, yeah.
Man, oh man. Well, we're going to top on that. You know, we're going to talk about that just after all this right here, because you know I do have a lot to say about that. So you know, but let's get on topic today right now. You know, because it's all about you, man, and the things that you are doing. You know, you are an author, you're a gospel artist. So let's talk about your album, right? My Story.
Yeah.
What can people get out of this? Is your 4th album.
Yes.
So what is the difference between your first to now? And let's talk about the growth.
Wow, that's tremendous. Um, Ironically, that little fella just came down the stairs. I don't know if you saw him flash by. Um, my first album, I was young, immature, impatient,
Mm,
undisciplined in every area of life. And and it showed, the production, although I've always worked with great musicians, and it was a decent produced song, but I was rushing it because I thought I had to. Once I started, I had a date set, and that date I had to make it that day. I got to get it out. I was sort of rushing, scrambling things. Things were half done. Things wasn't done to the full, uh, my full acceptance. Let me say that
mhm,
rushed, and I've learned over the years with the second and third and fourth. This fourth album, man, take your time. I'm at this fourth album. What I can say, I'm experienced in this production, in this music world with production. And it's like, just take your time. Don't rush it. If it ain't ready, don't force it. And I'm patient. I'm more patient. Nothing, I'm not doing it for any particular reason outside of I want to bless somebody's life.
mm,
It's an important thing.
mhm,
And with the first album, I was just doing something because I love music. I've always loved music. So I just wanted to do a music project. That was a passion of mine. And I wanted to do it, but that was the only driving force behind it. I was passionate about my music, and I wanted to do a music project.
mhm.
That was it. That was it. That was
Wow.
really no other driving force behind me. Now I have multiple driving forces behind what I do and why I do it. And
Mhm,
it's mostly related to my family, my son, my legacy. Um, doing things the way I really want to do things, and the way God puts it in my heart to do it. And but when He gives me the words, the lyrics, the music, everything, when He gives it to me, I have to. I'm now accepting it and doing it like I know He wants me to do it, and it'll be no other way. And you know, the those are the most important things. That's the main difference. Those are the main differences between within the first one and the album we're getting ready to release now.
wow, man. I mean, that says a lot. That says a whole lot.
I
You
tried to
know,
sum it up.
definitely, definitely. So, with that being said,
Yeah,
right? My story. 'Cause that's the. So my story is based off of what?
my story.
Your story. So what is your story?
It is it's a broad story. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
some of the lyrics are people often speak their words and try to say it's you.
Mm,
Others followed with I've heard,
mm,
begin to say it's you.
mm-hmm.
You don't know my story. You don't know my pain. You don't know my future, nor do you know my gain. After all that I've been through, I thank God that I've made it through, but you still don't know my story and you'll never know my pain. Those are the lyrics to that song. And that's just what it means. Oftentimes when people think they know you, and I
Mm-hmm.
always say this, and no matter who it is, I think there's maybe now two people that may really know me well. That's that little fellow over there and my grandmother. My grandmother, him because he's with me all the time. My grandmother because and he's mimicking me. He's like a little me, for real. And I'm not talking about he just everything that I do, how I talk, how I would say things to people. He's me times 1,000, but a better version of an exceptional version of me. And then my grandmother, who's still living, one of my grandmothers, because I talk to her about everything. I can go to her and talk. She knows she raised my father, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
an extension of my father, of my grandfather. She knows him. So knowing those two men, And now here I come along, and she's raised me, and I communicate with her. She's like a friend. She's like a great friend, but she's my grandmother. But I can talk to her about anything. She's never going to judge me. She's never going to be biased. She's going to tell me the truth. And so, you know, a lot of times people think they know you because they know of you. You don't know me because you know of me. You may have seen me at church. You may have spent time around me, but you still don't know me. That a lot of times people can be married for 15, 20 years and still don't know one another. And until you really, you know, somebody is transparent, somebody is open, completely open. And I say this, when you unconditionally love somebody, you'll know who they are because they can feel unconditional love. We don't want to trust anybody unless there's an unconditional love. I know with me, I won't trust many people unless there's a natural, real, unconditional love. Meaning you got to have, I don't want conditions on how you treat me as a friend. I don't want conditions on how you treat me as a family member. If you're someone I'm dating, don't come at me with any conditions. Love me for who I am. Then you'll know who I am. Because if you try to love me in a fake, a negative, or, just a superficial way, you won't know who I am. Because I got a block up against that type of, love.
Bro, you know what? You have spoken the truth.
Yeah.
The truth. Because a lot of people swear they know people's stories.
Yeah.
But they have no clue.
Yeah.
And that's wow, dude. That's volume right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
What's even worse is even the ones, like the song say, even the ones that know of you, they may spend a little time. They may take something that's not even meant for a negative story. They may share it with a friend that don't know you at all, never even seen you, and take that and tell it to somebody else. Now they take that story and make it something else, and they've never even met you. They don't really even know what you look like. That's the worst part of what we have going on in the world today.
Yeah.
And that's what my story is. So my story is me basically, number one, getting that straight. Number two, also sharing some of the things I've gone through in my life, through my lyrics, through my music, through my words. And so that's what my story is all about.
I love that, man. I love that. Now, let's talk about that a little bit because you're an author too.
Yeah.
All right. So your book comes out June the 30th.
Yes.
Flawed but unbroken. So let's get into that. What promoted you to write this book?
Well,
this your first book, man.
It's my first book. I'm inspired by my grandparents, my grandmothers. One in particular, my maternal grandmother. She raised me as a little kid to always read books. It's like even in the summertime when school is out, you're gonna read a book a day. That was her thing. I think about, when I was young in Sunday school, when I was a young kid. I don't know if Sunday schools are like that today, but when I was a young kid, we had to memorize speeches. We couldn't come up there with paper in our hand. We had to memorize it. If we were going to give a speech or we were going to quote a scripture, we had to memorize that scripture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We had to memorize that scripture. And those things instilled in me, I hated reading because of that.
Really?
I had a passion and a love for mathematics and science because I hated reading so much because my grandmother made me, because she was an English professor. And so she later on became a counselor. And that was one of her things. She always talked about writing books. Well, as much as I hated reading and writing, I began to do it at 9 years old. I had a passion for writing poems. I used to write poetry all the time. And I wrote my first song at 11 years old. Gospel song, gospel, probably old school, old time gospel type of song. traditional type of song because I was a Baptist, raised Baptist, missionary Baptist. And it was a traditional type of song. I wrote that at 11. But I began to write more and more from that age on poetry. I always wrote poetry. I always wrote music. And I began to teach my young adult choir that I was the music director over when I was 12 years old. I began to teach them some of my music.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, I continued doing that. And, but the book, when it came, once I got older in my mid 30s, I decided, I want to write a book. And I started writing little, just paragraphs at a time. And I did that for years and years until finally I said, you know what? At first, this book was going to be titled God's Bachelor.
Mm.
And I'm a bachelor. I've never been married.
Right.
And so living my life, a man of faith and dating in a dating world, it's a hard life, because it's like people accuse you. I mean, I was telling Sharon this, I can get into an argument with a female that I used to date when I was younger. It could be about, who's going to wash the dishes.
Right.
And we get into an argument about washing the dishes. And it's like, that argument will end with, and you call yourself a man of God because I don't want to wash your dishes.
Right.
You ain't no man of God. Because I don't want to wash your dish. A man of God would have, that type of stuff. They used to, in my experience, women against me would weaponize my faith when they get angry with me.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're not angry with me, they'll praise it. They'll they honor that when they're not angry. But the minute they get angry, it's a weapon now. So I dealt with that a lot in my life, and so it was going to be God's bachelor and things like that I was dealing with in the dating world, trying and keeping my faith strong and keeping my relationship strong with God. How do I balance that? But that evolved into, okay, that's limited. That's one part of my life. So the name changed. My grandmother that I'm speaking of, that raised me, my maternal grandmother, she passed in 3 days before Thanksgiving in 2021. And when she passed, it didn't hit me until 2 or 3 months later. My grandmother's not here. And I started writing. I started working on another song to finish up the music project. And so, I'm like, man, my grandmother used to teach me a lot of things. A lot of what have I learned most, from my grandmother, and one of the things I can say is no matter what you endure in life, God will always forgive you.
Yes.
God will always forgive you. If your heart is pure, your heart is right, and you're sincere, you can repent and you can be forgiven. And I'm like, man, I've done some things in my life, good and bad, and I'm like, man, but I'm probably going to make a mistake in the future. I strive for perfection, but I'm probably going to make another mistake. I'm going to say something wrong to somebody. Somebody may catch me on the wrong day and I might just curse. It might happen. So
right.
I'm like, man, I can't. And I can't sit here and worry about something like that. I'm flawed.
Yes.
And I'm accountable for every mistake I've made. And that thing that deny yourself and take up your cross, I'm no longer in denial about anything I've done wrong in life, any mistakes I've made. And I'm accountable for every single thing. And when I'm sincere about being accountable for them, and I take that to God and pray and say, God, this is who I am.
Right.
Help me, put a covering over me. Give me, God, for I've sinned and fell short of your glory. God forgives me because I've been on the edge of life, falling over to a bottomless pit, and God grabbed me. I've been there. And I'm like, if God can do that for me, I can't worry no more. But in the process, I got to be a regenerate soul.
Yeah. Yes.
I have to be renewed. I have to renew my spirit.
Yep.
And those particular things, that's what the book is about. Going through my life's experiences. I wrote that book, in tribute to my grandmother, and I lost my father when I was 12 years old. Those things, it's like, I amped up writing the book. And it was a healing process too. I hadn't completely healed from my father's death. I hadn't completely healed from a grandfather's death, from a relationship, a torn relationship with my mother. And I, until I was completely healed from that relationship, from those relationships, I couldn't be the best me I could be. So I had to go back and do some repairing in relationships with people, especially my mother. And no matter who was at fault or who was wrong, I'm a man now. I'm gonna go make it right. I'm gonna say, hey, mom, let's do this because you're my mother.
Right.
Whatever has happened, let's do this, man. And I love you because you're my only living parent. The woman that raised me, my grandmother is gone. My dad is gone. I still have a grandmother who's like my mom as well. But I'm like, I want us to have that relationship. And that meant a lot to her. That did some things for her life as well. And it did tremendous things for my life as a parent. I can be the best father to that little dude over there. I have a daughter. I can be the best father to my daughter. So those are the things that prompted me to write the book, because I can help somebody else that have gone through similar things that I've gone through in life. Some of the things that I've known about that other people, this can help people that have gone, because I know I'm not the only one that has gone through the things I've gone through.
No, you're not.
So being a God to be used in that sense and be able to talk about it and be transparent about it. Being transparent about things, it'll help somebody. And it, like I said, it healed. It was a healing thing for me to be the best version of me I can be.
Yeah, because a lot of times, we always think about, and I will always tell people, forgiveness. Forgiveness means a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times we are still dealing with things because we have not either forgave the person or we haven't forgiven ourselves.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. So man, listen, I like that story. I like that book. Now I gotta ask you a question because you're a songwriter too. So what is more therapeutic for you? Songwriting or writing? For you being an author?
That's what's been more therapeutic was the book.
The book.
It was more therapeutic. I can write a song in my sleeps.
Okay.
And I love doing it. It's not really challenging to me to write music. It's easy. I've been doing it all my life. I can write songs all throughout the day. I love them. I get it. I love doing it still. It's still a passion. The book was therapeutic. Like I said, I went through a healing. I would literally be up in my bed. I would start writing. I would get in my bed early from work throughout my day and get in the bed early, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and I would start writing. And I would go to 4 o'clock in the morning, just writing, straight writing. And in that moments, in that time frame, I can recall thinking, because you're reflecting on your life. I'm reflecting. Not only am I reflecting, it's making me, writing my book that I wrote, Flawed but Unbroken, made me go to my Bible. So I had some study sessions. I had, because I would look up one thing saying, does this match this chapter I'm talking about? So I'll read through that scripture. No, but Now let me go to another script. That's not the one I want. I got to go do. So now I'm really having Bible study, you know, and not only that, I'm now reflecting on things in my life that I've gone through. Some of the things made me cry. Literally, I mean, I'm in tears by myself, just thinking about things, thinking about my relationships with my parents, my grandparents, my siblings, my friends, significant others, all those things. You know, you're thinking about it, it's like, wow. And it's like, you know, a lot of it made you cry. Then there were things that made you laugh and made you smile, made you happy, and moments with your parents, holidays, and all type of things. And so that there, man, it's like it energizes you. All of it, the sad times, the happy moment, it energized me, and it gave me new meaning and new purposes in life. And it was like, okay, oh my God, it was so therapeutic. So yeah, I would say the book was more therapeutic than the writing music.
Wow. Well, hey, now we got to get on to something, and I got to talk about this because, you know, looked at the cover of your book.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Horses,
Yep.
a cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
My family, horses, we are cowboys.
Wow. Okay.
So, even though we city boys,
Yeah.
we still got the country in us because of my grandfather.
Yeah.
And my great grandfather.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit because it's interesting because, you know, you just opened up your clinic, your mobile clinic.
Yeah.
GeoVet Animal Clinic.
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you?
GeoVet Animal Care. The idea launched, and I say to people, I got to be transparent about it.
Mm-hmm.
The idea came to me in 2020 during COVID. Well, first let me share this story. I've always been an animal lover.
Mm-hmm.
Always loved animals, pets. My mom she's more loving of pets than I am. My mom would have, we was poor. You know, I told this somebody the other day. I said, my mom, we would sometimes not have running water in the house. But for some reason, my mom would bring home a pet. And she could barely feed us, but she had a pet in the house. And the pet ate me. The pet was, the dog was going to eat.
Right.
That dog was going to eat. I don't know what it was. My mom, as poor as we was, she would always have a dog. She loved her animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she loved her animals. And even now, you know, my mom, she got to have something. She can't really take care of that because she can't move like that, like she used to when she was young. So she got a fish. It can be one fish in that bowl.
Mm-hmm.
She'll have a fish in the bowl. And she just loved them. So that love for animals came from back then. Mm-hmm. As I grew up with my grandparents, living with my grandparents, it was a country. It was out, you know, outside of Houston. Mm-hmm. And it was a country back then. It's a little bit different now, but it's country now, but it was the country back then. Mm-hmm. We rode horses. I had neighbors that had chickens in their backyard. You know, I mean, neighbors that had goats, you name it, horses. Did we ride horse? All kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I used one of my closest friend, on the street. His parents had a whole lot of horses. And we used to always go ride the horses. And that's when I fell in love with riding horses. Mm-hmm. Now, my older age, fast forward, I'm older. My son, my daughter, she has a love for horses. She loves riding horses. My son, I got him started at 3 years old, riding and knowing how to not only ride them, but knowing how to take care of them, how to saddle, how to brush, how to bathe them, you know, how to feed him, all of that stuff. So he's still taking horse lessons now, learning not just how to ride them, but how to take care of a horse. So that came from then. I love being on the farm. I love gardens in the backyard. You know, I got a little garden. I don't have one in my backyard. I got one. Got some jalapeno peppers, some okra, some sage, some rosemary, right there on the side of the house.
Right.
That I'm growing right now. And I love that I love that country lifestyle. I don't even like living close to people. I want to, you know, my next house I'm gonna build, it's got to be on acres because I don't want my neighbors nowhere near me.
Right.
I like to have too much fun too. I'm party. I party. I like to invite my family over. We gonna have a good time, and I don't want my neighbors complaining about how much noise I'm making. And then I want a little mini stable on that property with my horses. I can go to the horses. I want my little man cave with my 49ers stuff in there, all that. I want to be, that's a country living for me. I like a country lifestyle. That's me. So when I thought of what I wanted to do for my book cover, it was natural. It's like, okay, flawed. The title is going to be Flawed but Unbroken. And I thought about, man, you know, when we ride horses, we got to break them horses.
Yes, you do.
You know, we got to break them horses.
Yes, you do.
So you got to break them horses. So it all tied in. And I said, I want to be on. I broke this horse, you know, but I'm not going to be broken.
Right.
That's where it all tied in. The horse, the cowboy hat on. You know, I love my cowboy hat. I love my boots. And, you know, I'm right outside of Houston, Texas. I'm in Texas. I'm the whole state of Texas is country. So, you know, we love our horses. We love our trucks. I tell people I'm the Black Dutton. If you know anything about Yellowstone, the television show.
Yep. Yes, you know, I do.
I'm Terrance Dutton. Call me Terrance Dutton. I got a big black 3500 Dodge Dually. I got some trailers. You know, I got some. Listen, I'm Terrance Dutton. Now, you want me to go put on my hat? I'll go put that on. My cowboy hat. That's who I am. I'm Terrance Dutton. I'm not Terrance Bell. I'm Terrance Dutton. I'm gonna change my name. So all of that is where the book cover came from. The idea of the GeoVet, the animal clinic, is I was dating a veterinarian. We started dating during COVID, and we were on vacation, and she was complaining about working too much, overworked and underpaid. I said, you are a doctor. Don't ever be underpaid. I said, That's right. You can make, and a veterinarian, the demand for veterinarians in this world where people love their pets like they do, in this culture, listen. She said, well, what do I do? I said, let me take care of it. I'll handle it. You handle the practice side. Let me handle the business side. We're going to start this. And at that point, the GeoVet, I started working. I was leaving, what's the little island outside of Boston? What's the little island outside of Boston that you have to fly into? I can't think of the name of it. You ever been to Boston?
I've been to Boston one time.
What's the little city, little island off of Boston? You have to fly to it.
We're about to find out. Listen, my team is actually looking it up. Don't worry about my team is looking it up right now.
It starts with an M, or is it? God, what is the name of that? I can't even think of it. But anyway, that's where we took a vacation in September. And in September, October, we took a vacation. Barack Obama has a home out there. I can't think of, oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, I got a shirt in there. I hate when I can't think of something. But anyway, we were leaving vacation. She was like, oh my goodness. She said, I would love to just do this all the time. And that's where at lunch I called my office, got my secretary to start putting the information together for me about animals, how to run a veterinary clinic, what we're going to do. And at first it was going to be a brick and mortar. And during COVID, I'm like, I saw that they have mobile vets. I said, let's do a mobile vet. And let's do a mobile vet first. That seemed to be probably the less expensive of the two. Let's do the mobile vet and see how that goes. And from there, we'll see what happens. And that's where I launched. And the more information I got, the more I saw her passion with animals, being a veterinarian, the more she taught me, the more I learned. I started educating myself about preventative care. And I can remember growing up, when I grew up with my mom, you know, there were little stray dogs, homeless dogs all over the place all the time.
Mhm.
Homeless cats, homeless dogs, all kind of animals, just homeless. And people would come by, treat them like, you know, they were malnutrition and they were skinny. And you know, I thought about everything started coming back to me. And her passion and all of that just teaching me, it's like, man, let's do it. And I can go on and on about it, but in lieu of time, it's Martha's Vineyard. I came up with the name.
Yo, I was about to say something to you too. Go ahead.
Okay, so but yeah, so we started putting it together, planning back in 2020. Been through some roller coasters up and down, trying to learn, trying to get everything. It was a difficult but great experience to go through all of that production of it. And now that I have it, now is on to the next stage. We just had our grand opening last week, a couple of weeks ago, and now we are getting ready to start our first clients next Wednesday. We've been scheduling clients, and now next Wednesday we will start servicing our first clients. And we got a lot of events coming up. I've had people, community, dog shelters, grooming agencies, grooming companies to call me to want to partner with us, do some type of event. So I have an event coming up next week where I'm going to donate the mobile unit for a good cause. They're calling it Mutts and what's the breakfast mimosas. Mimosas and mutts. And that's an event, so it's going to be a facility. Then I have another event where I'm helping out the city that I live in, the animal control center. They're going to go out to areas where there's a lot of homeless and strays walking around the area and try to help those animals. And we're going to be the unit. We're going to go out there with them and do some visits with them. I mean, basically just some preventative care, free checkups on them and things like that. Try to put them in a home, send them to an agency, find someone to adopt them. We're going to help all of them with that. And then I got a call from a outlet mall near me. On tax-free weekend. We're going to host, GeoVet Animal Care will host the same thing, preventative care, where we're going to give free vaccinations, free screenings, free exams, some free microchipping, and other things that we're going to do. And then we have bank partners coming to partner with us, fire departments coming to partners, other local grooming, dog, animal shelters, animal, home. I mean, the boarding facilities where you can leave your animal overnight for a couple of days. They'll take care of them. So different and other organizations are going to be a part of this, and it's going to be a huge event from 6 hours, and at the front of the outlet mall, prime location that we're partnering up with them, and it's going to be we have media, some media exposure out there. So, man, I'm so excited about this, man. I'm ready for this. I'm excited about that. I'm more than the practice part because I'm not a veterinarian.
Right.
It's the community things, the giving back, helping the community, with these pets and animals, helping these animals. And it's called Invigorating the Souls of Pets. And so, that's a name that I came up with because we want to ignite these animals. They're just like us. They have souls. Yeah. They have feelings. They have, all of that. They have emotions. And I have a Doberman back there right behind me right now. He's back there laying down, chilled. He know how to stay in his spot.
Right.
Back there. And he's so protective of anybody that come in this house. You come in here and mess with my 6-year-old son if you want to. He's gonna tell you. Oh, I'm sorry. He just corrected me. He's 7.
7.
Turned 7 a couple of weeks ago on the 20th. He's 7 years old. Did you hear him?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's yeah. So he's 7 years old. He's over here all in my interview. I can't even interview. He's picking up everything over there. Don't look at me like that, man.
Oh man, that's funny, man. That's definitely funny, man. He said, "No, Dad, I'm 7." You know what I mean? Don't you mess up my age, right?
Well, I forget he just made 7 a week ago.
Right.
Come on, man.
So let's talk about some other things that you are doing, right? Because I don't think a lot of people know that you are a civil engineer and you own your own construction company.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
The construction company since 2005. Engineering companies, I launched it in 2005 as well. And I've been doing that since then. Started off rough and rocky. I actually left the church full time. I was minister of music at a church, and I remember the pastor coming in. I just released my first CD at that time too. The pastor came to me. He said, "Terrance, everybody in the church is taking a pay cut," and I just started at this church like a month. He said, "I told him, I'm like, I can't ask this man for a pay cut. We already underpaying him, and he just started."
Right.
And he came to me and telling me that story. I already knew where that story was going. He said, "Well, I can tell you what, Pastor, I'm gonna save you the trouble. I'll give you 2 Sundays. Cut my pay. I'm gonna work at my pay that I'm getting paid now for 2 Sundays. I just released my new CD, so that'll give me time to be on the road with that. And I won't be here those 2 Sundays, and I'll give you 2 Sundays." He said, "No, Terrance, we can't. I want you here every Sunday." I said, "I'm going to make it real easy for you. I'm going to go turn in my resignation, and I'm getting ready to launch my business anyway." I just left the state. I was working for the state and the highway department. I said, "I'm getting ready to launch my own company. Just released my CD. I'm gonna make it easy for you, man. I'm gonna just turn in my resignation." "No, Terrance, it's not." I said, "Man, that's okay. I don't want to put you in no position to go back and deal with these people.
Right.
I know you're sincere, but they got other agendas. You know how some of the churches are, and I understand they were struggling financially at that time. And I'm like, I don't want to cause any friction. So I'm gonna just step away. I wanted to anyway, because I had no freedom. I had done that all my life, working for the church. And it was like, man, I'm in my 30s at that time. I'm like, man, I don't have a life outside of church. I go to work in church. I can't do nothing else. And so when I stopped, man, I was so, at first I missed it. But after about 4 or 5 months, man, I feel so good. And I'm like, I can wake up Sunday morning and just lay here and just lay here and just, man, I ain't got to go to church. I can get up when I want to and go when I want to. I'll see you when I see you, church.
Right.
And pastors that call me, "Hey, Terrance, we'd like to hire you, man." They told me, I'm like, "Nope, you can't pay me enough." Hey, I don't even want it, man. And I was struggling then because I had just started my and I released a new CD. I was struggling to be on. I'm like, I want my sanity is more important, because I was doing that and I was touring with the first CD, and I hit a wall, and I literally stayed in my bed. I called my job and said, "I can't make it in." I called the church, said, "I won't be in nothing this week. I'm shutting down all rehearsals, nothing." I stayed in my bed. That was on a Sunday. I laid in my bed that Sunday through that Friday, staring at the ceiling, at the walls. The TV was on. I don't even know what was on. And I didn't bathe. I got up to use the restroom, of course. Outside of that, I wasn't bathing. I was like, Friday, I came to. I literally, and I experienced for the first time in my life hitting a wall. And I'm like, the feeling when I came out of that, I said, I never want to feel that again. It was miserable. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing no. My sanity, my life, living. I love to vacate. I go on vacations. I can jump up and go on a vacation anytime I want. That was the most important thing to me. I can still contribute and with my faith and do what I do, in my own way, in my own manner, being what we call a fisherman of men, and so I still can do that, but I will not. I can't do that no more, and I can't do it, man. And so from that point on, I began to adventure about a recording studio. It didn't work out, because the recording got funny and flaking. I didn't have the time and patience for it because I was too passionate about music.
Right.
And people are just working for you, they're not. And so I'm like, I can't do this. Other business, I have the construction company, took off with my engineering company. I really got involved with my residential building in the last 7-8 years, really involved, but I've been doing it for ever since then, around 2004, 2005, but not as strong. I didn't have my own residential building company. I would work for others.
Okay.
And now I have my own construction residential building company, and I love it. It's stressful, but
it is.
one thing I learned, I don't let it consume me. So I don't take on too much, because I understand I still have the engineering. I still have, my music. I have my son, my kids. And that was another thing. My son, when he was born, I cut out a lot of stuff to be a full-time father.
Okay.
Me and his mother not together. I'm a full-time dad, with my kids. This guy's, he's here all the time. And, his mom stays, he's with her half the time with me. She stays about an hour away, but I'm at his school. Anything goes wrong, I'm driving an hour to go to his school.
That's what I'm talking about.
Teacher called me, I'm there. I'll show up. He knows it. And I told him, don't call his mother, call me.
Yep.
I'm coming to get him. And he knows that. He's sitting over there right now. He knows that what I'm talking about, I've done it. I actually went to his school, got him out that school and took care of him and sent him on back in there. And, but that's the most important thing. Spending time with him, raising him, and making sure that I am a full-time parent. I'm not going to deprive him of a life without a father like I didn't have. After, my mother and father went together. I saw my father, but not a lot of time. And then when I was able to live closer to him, he died that first year. When I was 12 years old, I moved with my grandparents. And I'm like, no, he won't. He won't. If something happens to me now, he's going to have so many experiences already in his mind. So those are the things that are important to me now. And that's GeoVet, that's, all the construction, all that to answer that question.
Well, listen, man, I mean, you didn't broke down a couple of things. Like, it was a couple of questions I wanted to ask you, but you already just narrowed it down. I was about to ask you about, how did you juggle things about being a father in all your businesses, but you already broke it down, right? And I like the fact that you was real transparent about hitting that wall, right? Because a lot of people don't really talk about that, right? And it was an old saying that my grandma used to say all the time. She was like, okay, now, if you don't want to get no sleep, God going to get you.
Yeah.
You definitely going to get some sleep, right? And a lot of people do hit that wall. Yeah. And for you to come out that wall and now you understood, like, all right, listen, I'm not going to take on all this stuff right here now. That is a testimony on its own. Yeah. Right there. Just to let people know.
It really is, man. It really is. What helps me real quick, what helps me even juggle a lot of things that I do, with all the things that I do, it's balance. And the balance that I'm talking about is maintaining a healthy lifestyle, uh, drinking, meaning I work out a lot, almost every day. I'm doing some type of working out. Either I'm at the gym or I'm at the track. Most times both.
Mm-hmm.
I drink nothing but water. I don't drink juices. I don't drink Kool-Aids, soda waters, Cokes, Sprite, none of that. I don't drink any of that. On occasions, I'll have some orange juice or Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my days, nothing but water. Every blue moon, I'll sit back with my whiskey. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my whiskey. I don't care. You say what you want to say. I'm gonna have me a whiskey. And even a Balvenie, buddy. And it's my favorite whiskey. My son, you know. But I'll do that. And I vacate. You know, I'll take vacations, man. I'm telling you, I'll just jump up and take vacation. I need one now, and it just to get away. It helps me write too. It helps me. I need to reset a lot of times. So balance, healthy lifestyle, nice vacation here, eating the right foods, drinking the right things, taking care of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way I would be physically or mentally capable of doing any of the stuff that I do, man, if I didn't balance my entire lifestyle by doing those things.
Yeah, it is. Y'all heard it right here, y'all. Y'all heard it right here. Man. Well, listen, man. June 30th, everything is going to be dropping.
Yeah.
So, what can people that are watching and people that's going to be listening to it, because we're going to put in the audio too, people that's going to be listening to it, what can they take away when they start seeing, reading the book, and listening to the LP, listen to the CD?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, I am proud of this CD.
Uh-huh.
This new album, man, I've worked with one of the best producers in the business by the name of Sean Martin. And by the way, Sean, literally 3 days after we were working on the last song that we were producing on this project called uh, Healer Your Need. Healer
Mm-hmm.
Your Need. Sean had a massive heart attack on a Sunday night, late Sunday night, early Monday morning. Massive heart attack. And he's still fighting for his life. So I want, if anybody out there, and I know if anybody is in music, uh, they know who Sean Martin is. And most notably, he travels with Kirk Franklin. He's Kirk Franklin's MD, and produced a lot of music for Kirk Franklin. But Sean is struggling for his life right now, battling, and so send your prayers out to him. Me and him, he's like my brother. And man, when I say we have some of these songs on this album, they're live. We recorded them live. About 4 or 5 of them are live. The rest of them are studio. But man, this project it had a lot of passion. My son. So anyway, they're gonna get the heart of what I say, what church is, what church really is, meaning the worship of what church should be. Let's throw away the politics of church. Let's throw away all the stuff that goes on in church, and let's just have church. You know, that's what this CD is. You can sit down, you can ride in your car, you just churching. You know, you can be in your home, you're churching. You know, no matter where, you're gonna listen to this music, and this CD is going to take you to different levels of church, of real powerful church music, worship, and so that's what they're going to take away from it. The book is going to bless you. It's going to teach you. It's going to, for parents, people that need parenting. You know, I'm not married, but I can tell you about relationships, how to treat people, the respect factor. how to honor your person that you're dating. The honor is first. You know, if we don't honor people first, everything's gonna crumble. You know, and you're gonna get that out of, you know, treat your children, how to be a parent, how to be a child, how to be a sister, how to be a brother, those particular, how to be a friend. You can get all of that in this book, and I love it. I poured my heart into it, and those are the things you can take away from the album and the book.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Well, listen, man. Thank you for joining us here on the show. We definitely appreciate you, man. Make sure you give everybody your IG and your website.
Definitely. The website is Terrance Bell, terrancebell.com, TERRANCE Bell, BELL, terrancebell.com. The IG is Terrance Bell's with an S, Terrance Bell with an S, Terrance Bell's Life on Instagram. Facebook is Terrance Bell, Twitter, Terrance Bell. If you're an animal, you got animals, you need servicing, GeoVetAnimalCare.com. And you can GeoVet, GeoVet, animalcare.com. On those are all my websites and social media platforms.
Man. Well, look, man, you know, this was a good show. This definitely was a good show. But you know, I'm not gonna let you leave so fast. Because you know, December 30th, you're coming back to see us.
Are we coming there or y'all coming to us?
No, y'all coming to us. Yes, y'all are coming to us. Y'all coming to us.
We are.
Listen, look, you see, I'm about to close this book up real fast.
Go ahead.
You know, I gotta say this to you. You know, y'all been talking a lot of trash.
Rightfully so. Rightfully
during
so.
the off season, right? And saying that if y'all quarterback was on his two legs, right, and had his shoulder, y'all would have won. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. December 3rd at 4:25 on Fox.
Yep.
Anybody, y'all gonna watch the demolish again. Because see, now we are bringing. See, y'all got a little bit of taste of, you know, as we call it, our pass rush. But now y'all about to get everything. Y'all going to get the floodgates now. I understand. Really? I understand y'all got our guy, you know, Hargrave, right? Yeah. But don't worry, because we got them Bulldogs, right? We got them Bulldogs.
Let me ask you a question. Do you remember who had the number one defense in the league last year?
Yup. And you know who had the number two?
I don't remember number two.
Okay. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me say this. Do you know who led the league in sacks last year?
Y'all did.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But who had the number one overall defense?
Y'all did.
Yes, sir. And now this year we added what we have with that number one defense. The defensive player of the year last year. Where did he come from?
I mean,
you don't even know who
listen. Ohio
Bosa.
State.
I can help you. Bosa.
Ohio State.
Bosa.
Which I can't.
Nick Bosa.
Yes,
was
I
the
know.
defensive player of the year last year.
Yes.
But let me explain something to you.
But he should never got it, though. Because I'm going to tell you something. Our guy, Hassan Reddick, should have got it. Because he led the league in sacks.
No, just because you led the league in sacks, that doesn't mean nothing. Bosa was wrecking. But let me say this. Y'all beat us fair and square.
Yeah.
Hurt. That was the third string quarterback, by the way.
Yes, it was.
We had our top two starting quarterbacks already out for the year. Mm-hmm. Third string rookie quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant,
big player. and check this out. Remember the game. The first drive, y'all first touchdown, y'all had a 4th and long.
Yes,
that wasn't a catch. They gave
it to No, it wasn't. But my man told him, hurry up, let's go, let's run it down.
If they'd reviewed it, but we still came back and tied the score up 7-7.
Yes.
Even when Purdy went down, y'all still was having a hard time scoring. But at some point, when we got a quarterback playing the whole second half and can't throw, we're gonna hand it off.
Yep.
We sitting ducks.
Yeah.
We sitting ducks.
Well,
so y'all won.
Yeah.
Being injured is part of the game.
Yes, it is.
So it happened, man. And at this, but y'all will see us come December.
Yeah.
Y'all will see a full team.
Yep. And we're gonna see y'all in the playoffs too. So we might as well just go ahead and buckle up. We might as well go ahead and buckle up. Now
Yeah. The Eagles and the 49ers are the top two teams everybody's picking in the NFC.
Yes, they are.
Eagles and 49ers, they picking them to be back in the NFC Championship again. So we'll see, man. It's going to be a great season. I'm ready. I'm so ready for a football season, man.
Me too.
I'm ready. As a matter of fact, I'm going to that Philly game.
Oh, you're going to the Philly game?
Yeah, I'm going to that Philly game.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have to go ahead and talk a little bit, because we tailgates down there. I got a couple of friends that tailgates down there.
Well, we tailgate and we invade. We bring an invasion. We invade people's land. You understand? We invade it.
Listen, man.
So we'll be there.
I don't know how I'm going to have to tell some of my friends that I'm be meeting up with Terrance, and we're going to be he's a 49er fan. We're going to have to be on our best behavior because we don't want you leaving and saying these Philadelphia Eagles fans they are what they said they was. Because Bosa his brother he's seen it for himself. He's seen how we was, right? So I'll see you there.
Yeah,
I'll see you there.
I will definitely be there.
Yes, sir. I'll see you there.
Yes,
look,
sir.
Man, I appreciate you, man, so much, man, for joining us here on the show, man. Hey, young man, I see you right there. What's going on? Oh, man. Have fun at karate class? Did good? My man. Blessings as always. All right, man. Well, listen, man. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. We definitely appreciate you, man. And hey, once again, like I always tell people, welcome to the family. Even though you're a 49ers fan, but I'm glad at one thing. You in Texas and you ain't no Cowboy fan. So you are real good. You are good to me.
This. Cowboys what?
Ew.
Cowboys are what?
Ew.
And Cowboys are what?
Disgusting.
And what?
Gross.
And what?
Sorry.
Ew.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I love that. Hey, man, you raised them well. You're raising them well.
Yeah, we hate the Cowboys over here.
Hey, man.
Niners.
Yeah, I see it. Well, we do got one thing in common, the Cowboys. So, that's always a blessing right there. That's a blessing. All right, man. Well, listen, man, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man, and welcome to the family, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Man. Thank
you. Enjoy the rest
of
your day.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Man. Good show, y'all. Good show once again. Definitely a good show, y'all. It's Terrance Bell. Make sure y'all go ahead and check out June 30th. My story. That's CD. And y'all got to check out his book. It's coming out June 30th, too, because they said everything is right there. Flawed, but unbroken. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check that out. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. Y'all be good. And like OT always say before we get off this show, if someone asks you how you doing, you tell them you're doing better than yesterday. All right? I love y'all. Y'all be good. And we will see y'all next week because OT is what we call on vacation starting right now. So we will see y'all on Monday. And man, we starting out hip-hop. 50-year anniversary of hip-hop, y'all. And we got my man DJ Teflon is going to be joining us here on the show on Monday. So, hey, when you talk about hip-hop, you got to talk about DJ Teflon. So, you know what I mean? Because they are actually on tour right now with Snoop, Wiz Khalif, DJ Drama, Too Short. They all are on tour right now. And he's on tour with them. And he's going to stop by and have a conversation with your boy OT and talk about some things. All right, y'all. Well, listen, enjoy your weekend. Be blessed. Enjoy that weather. Have fun out there. And we will see y'all again next week. Same time, y'all. Same place here on the OT Radio Show. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. And once again, thank you for watching. Peace.